Girl, sir, bro, sis, it is currently 8:20 in the morning. All right, I've been up all freaking day, all night, but that's besides the point. I've come to the realization, okay, the revelation that you, cirrhosis, have finally entered flow state. For real. Being content with being present is literally the answer. It's been the answer all along, because for you specifically, you've feared the present moment. You've feared being present with yourself. You've literally feared being grounded in the present moment, because abandoning yourself was once upon a time all you knew how to do. You know, unconsciously, of course. Please, I just had a laugh attack and it's currently 8:22 on the clock. All right. Taking that as a sure sign. All right. But you are learning to be okay. Contempt. Hopefully I'm using that word right. Satisfied with the present moment, because for a majority of your life, you've been trying to escape the present moment, all right? Looking for escapism by any means, minus, hardcore drugs and what have you. Not too extreme, okay? Or maybe it was to that extreme, take what resonates, of course, but all your life has been escaping the present moment by going inwards, and not in the way that you may think. Escaping inwards by, adapting maladaptive coping mechanisms such as daydreaming or, zoning out, being overall dissociated. That was a learning, that was a coping mechanism that your brain and body had picked up due to your experiences in your life. But now, babe, oh my gosh. Babe, you have entered flow state. All right, you've put down the schedule. You've dropped the clock. You've stopped over planning everything. All right, you're less rigid in your habits, goals, overall, just the way you maneuver through life. You've stopped it. You've dropped the act, per se. The act that was you being masked up, okay? Put it on a show, a performance, okay? You, sis, Starbo sis, you have done your big one when it came to performing, wearing a mask for the external world to be through, right? Showing up in the world through this lens of what you felt like you had to be in order to feel accepted, validated, liked, and loved. Now you are learning to be satisfied with just being you. You know, the real you. The you that you once upon a time felt ashamed of, misunderstood, less than, unworthy, fearful, right? All of those not so good feeling adjectives and what have you are no longer a running, main factor in your life. You've learned, or you're learning, to do away with any feeling, any thing that is no longer serving your authentic self. All right. Word of 2026, authentic. Okay. And flow. Flow state and authentic. Authenticity is the name of the game. And you've finally stopped abandoning yourself just so that you could satisfy other people who were never going to be satisfied, no matter what you did, no matter what you say, no matter what you act like. Those people just wanted to use you to their own benefit. They basically seen you or saw you as an object, something to benefit them, without them caring about your feelings or your needs, your emotions, especially your emotions. And I'm here to tell you that you basically have shedded that old mask, that old skin. You're a new creation. It's literally giving a snake shedding its skin. All right. Rebirthed by light, rebirthed by the universe. You are definitely not who you used to be. And if you haven't already, I need you to give yourself the hugest, biggest round of applause, because you finally cracked the code to life, which is basically showing up as you, who you were always intended to be, not suppressing yourself any longer, integrating those parts of yourself you once felt ashamed of, integrating the hurt, transmuting the pain, and allowing pleasure to finally hit you like a freight train. You finally entered flow state. All right? You are satisfied with the present moment because you've come to the realization that this present moment is all we truly have. The past is only a figment of your imagination now. It no longer exists. All of your past experiences were lessons for you to utilize further on in life. You were never supposed to be stuck there, nor do you have to act, behave, or show up in the world as a version of you that you once were. Okay? And you are not alone in this. Everyone, literally every human being in this school we call Earth has to go through this, their own lessons. All right? You've gone through yours. Hell, you're still going through yours. But you've gotten through it. So don't force yourself to stay stuck in a past cycle that is dead and gone. You finally entered flow state. All right? This is your glow up season, your glow up era. All right, you're about to enter your quote unquote villain arc. These are very exciting times. So get happy. Get happy. You don't have to feel sad anymore or fear happiness any longer. You finally enter flow state.